All right, we are live. I'm going to call this the monster roll. So usually you guys are used to me and Jim here on the Color Up podcast. Well, I'm going to do something a little different. We're going to make the podcast officially every other Sunday, and then 2 Sundays of the month will be the official podcast, and then you can see that on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all that. And then every other week we'll just be hanging out with you guys. So we'll take any questions, comments, anything like that that you want to talk about, so you can answer questions. And I'll open up the phone here in a minute. And then actually today I have with me TK. He's my guest host. So welcome TK. And he
Hey
is
everybody.
he's a brand new Color Up Club member. And so I'm probably gonna. Well, Jim's at a wedding, so he may or may not pop in. But if not, I'm gonna every week we'll have on just kind of club members and just talk and chat. So let's see here. I guess for a couple questions, get in. TK, what made, because you're a new club member, what made you decide to join the club, or how did you get into craps? Like, what are you doing here?
So, funny story. A couple weeks ago, um, me and my boss went to the casino, and I've always been a casino lover. Never really been a table person. Been more slots. And
Okay.
he's a craps player, and he introduced me to the game. I called it dumb luck or whatever, but I won like 2,500 bucks, and I was bitten by the bug, and
Yeah,
I've
that's a
been
problem when you go on your, early and you win. It's like, oh, this is easy money. That's how they
yeah, it was
get you.
yeah. So after that, I'm the type of person when I take an interest in something, I go head first, and so I came home and I started doing research. I got some books. Then I started watching YouTube videos, and then I came across your channel, and I basically for the last month just been doing a deep dive on all your videos, and then that led me into like Hawaii crap shooters. Then I've been watching videos on how to set the dice, throwing. Um, but like the reason I like your videos is like how you give how you break the game down and explain it, betting strategies. Because actually, the first time I played, and this was really dumb luck, I played on all three bonuses, and
Hmm.
that's how I won all the money. I didn't even know about
Okay.
side bets, and like one of the guys at the table was like, "Hey man, you can't learn if you don't play." And I was just like, I never played table games. He was like, "Man, just put $30 on the bonus," and I was like, "Okay, I could do $30," and I stood there like a dummy, was asking questions, and I mean the thing that really like brought me to it is just the table, like the way it felt, man. Everybody was like playing with each other. They was talking, and the guy that was rolling the dice, man, he was on a roll. Now that I know more about the game, he rolled about I think like a 20 or 21 rolls before he rolled big seven. But just to be there, and I mean people were winning so much money. And if I would have knew what I know now about like all the side bets after watching your videos, I probably would have won a lot of money, man. But it was just cool, man. Everybody was clapping, and I mean,
Yeah,
we were
that's
like the loudest thing in the casino, man. And then that feeling, and being a military person, and coming from that camaraderie, it felt good. And I sat there talking to the people, had a couple drinks, and it just felt good. And then like I said, from there, I dove deep into it, started doing research, and here I am. And like I said, I found your channel, and when I saw you had the club, I went full force into it.
very nice. Did you get a chance to roll the dice? That's
No, I was, but I was scared, and so I actually went to the casino last week, and since now I know how to set dice and throw them, I actually shot like nine in a row before I rolled big seven.
okay. So a
So
little bit above average. There
little,
you
so
go.
I'm getting there, but
Yeah. So you
so
said, did you say Baltimore? Or was that before we started here?
yeah,
In
yeah,
the Baltimore area. So what
yeah, I
casino
live
is
in.
your local casino?
So here we have the closest one to my house. I live downtown Baltimore. We got Caesars, well, Horseshoe from Caesars. Then we have Live, which is a self-standing casino. Then we got MGM, which is down at the hub. It's like an hour away. It's on the border of DC. But then you got Philly, you got Park, because I'm originally from Jersey, so I mean,
So
all up and
which one do
down.
you like? What do you think is your home casino then?
I love live.
Okay.
It's just a bigger casino, and just the crowd is better. Horseshoe was like right downtown Baltimore, and it's I mean, if anybody knows about Baltimore, it's a little shady. So
I've
I
only
mean,
seen the what was that old TV show about
the
Baltimore?
Wire,
Yeah, The Wire.
yeah,
Yeah, that's my that's what I know about
yeah. I
Baltimore.
mean,
Pretty
that's
accurate, or
that's pretty accurate.
that's funny.
Yeah, if you're going into the Horseshoe, especially at night, and you win, you're going out to that parking lot.
Justice Jen said Maryland Live is a great casino. National Harbor is also lovely.
Yeah, yeah, it is. But yeah, but that's long story short, that's what brought me here to to the Colorado family, and I'm excited about coming out in June to Vegas. Like actually, last year I went to Vegas for the first time. It was the first time I left the East Coast. Like I've seen way more of the world than my own country. Like I've been to five of the
With your
seven
military
continents.
background and everything. Yeah.
hmm
Okay.
Yeah, I've been to five of the seven continents, but never left the East Coast. And went to Vegas last year in June, and I was like, I really like it here.
It's a different world out there, huh?
Yeah, it's a different world.
It's just like all the casinos. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, like I stayed on the strip, and then I think my third or fourth day I was there, we went down to Fremont Street, and like I was like a little kid in a candy store, and I was like, man, this is cool, man. You can drink on the streets. People are just having a good time, man.
Yeah,
It
and you
was
could just
yeah.
walk to each of them, and yeah, yeah.
hmm So I was excited. Then when
So you weren't into craps back then. What did you just play
no,
slots then, or
yeah,
what's
just
the?
play slots.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was with my family, so I didn't really get to do much. And like I said, I'm originally from Jersey, I'm from Trenton, from the capital. So I grew up, in the summers we go down Atlantic City, hang out down there at the piers, whatever. I had one of my uncles used to be a crap dealer and a blackjack dealer. So I, kind of grew up around being in the casinos and stuff.
Justice Jen said National Harbor is like Bellagio, $50 tables. Is that? I
hmm
know you guys in the East, especially kind of that Maryland area, pretty expensive, right?
Yeah. So the table, at least the crap tables here are $25 minimum.
Yeah, and then on the
Um,
weekend, I'm guessing they go to 1,500 maybe, or they stay at
yeah.
25.
I haven't played on the weekend yet, but
Okay,
I'm pretty sure like MGM and Live they probably do.
they probably that's what I hear. They go up to 50 and 100, which is whew,
Yeah, it's
you got to have some, you got to have a bankroll to play a little bit.
yeah. You definitely gotta have a bankroll.
Yeah.
But I like Live and MGM. I mean, going down National Harbor is they've done a really good job in the last few years of like building that place up, and it's nice.
Very cool.
hmm
So the phone line is open. Anyone who wants to call in, I'll take your voice call. Otherwise, we'll answer questions. Just kind of me and right now TK hanging out. See Brian from Holy Rollers in 3,200 across. Yes, exactly. That's how you play it. Play on the East Coast.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing that I learned when I was playing is if you take care of the table, this guy told me you take care of the table takes care of you. So I when I won that money, I tipped like the guy that threw the dice. I tipped him. I tipped all
Uh-huh.
the dealers and the guy that was sitting in the I guess he's like the boss, whatever.
Yeah, Boxman.
The boxman, yeah. And they
Yeah,
were just
yeah. He kind of keeps an eye on the dealers.
yeah, and everybody was looking at me. They were like, hey man, they were like, yeah man. That was like everybody was like patting me on the back. They were like, man, way to go, taking care of everybody. So
Yeah, that's good.
yeah.
All right, let's see. We got a question for you here. What is TK's bankroll strategy now that he's done a little bit of research?
Podcast.
Hmm.
Hold on. I'm going to take this call first, then we'll let
Okay.
you answer that.
Hi, it's Justice Jen.
Hey, Justice, how are you? Welcome.
Hey, I'm good. Hey, I'm happy to call in and talk to your guest. It's very interesting because it's really true. It's a $60 table every time I'm at National Harbor, and it's a beautiful casino. It's exactly like a mini Bellagio, but I'm seeing people buying for like $100, $200, $300. So I'm just seeing what your caller buys in for because I feel grossly underfunded when I buy them for 2,000.
Yeah, I mean 100, 200, right? They're making one bet and then just praying, right? And then so they win, right? What are they going to do with 200? You still can't do anything. So, TK, go ahead and answer the question.
They're in it for the bonus.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
that's-
Do they let them play just the bonus?
If you're not shooting, yeah.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, a lot of casinos have moved to like you either have to have a pass line or some sort of action on the table before you let the because otherwise everyone will just stand around betting the bonus. But so TK, so what is your kind of bankroll strategy? Justice Jen wants to know.
Yeah, so in all honesty, I played 3 more times since I won that money the first time, and I mean, like I've put in $300,
Okay.
and I've been lucky, and the more I learn, and especially like watching videos and like learning some different strategies. So strategy, I'm the type of person I'm kind of superstitious. So since I won on the bonus, I always bet the bonus
Yeah.
and pass line. And
Okay.
then depending on the shooter, like now that I'm understanding how to hold the dice and shoot, I can really like look at somebody and say, okay, this guy's gonna shoot. He's a good shooter or not a good shooter, and from there, I'll start doing, just kind of the side bets. But my go-to is just the bonus pass line if I'm, if the shooter's good, and then like one of your videos said, I've always do the 6 and 8. I
Okay.
mean, those are most frequently, and then I try to cover like one of your videos, you were showing like how you put on a come, and then every time like another number hits it besides the on number, that
Uh-huh.
come bet moves up. So with the small bankroll, I just try to build up to cover all
Okay.
numbers, just using the come bet. So
Yeah, a couple $100 on a $25 table. You don't have
yeah,
room to just play everything. So
right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, and then especially Jen's mentioned talking $50, right? And 2000 is probably depending on how you play, Jen. It's
Yeah,
even
I mean
that's a
that's
little tight.
yeah.
Anything else you want to add, Jennifer?
Yeah, I'm so impressed. Like 200 is crazy. Like oftentimes you'll see, and it's like really high rollers, and it's probably because it's giant sports athletes play there. So they'll close it out. They'll have $100 tables, and then they force the other tables to go to 50, so they can kick out all the riffraff at 25. And so, yeah, the first time I played 2000, I really struggled, right? Like I could only have 6 and 8, and then like a bonus bet in the middle. But everybody's playing bonus bet, pass line and bonus bet. That's it.
Oh wow.
But yeah, did you hear about that big time robbery though down in National Harbor?
Uh-uh.
I didn't know.
Oh my gosh, you did, right? Oh, you didn't? It was recent. It was like maybe a month ago, and these like 4 cats, like they just ran and they got chips, and they just basically grabbed a whole bunch of chips, like a lot, and then like they ran out, they jumped over the security, and there's like chips flying everywhere, like when they like run past the security and into the casino lobby. It was like pretty dramatic.
It was
And
back in
they're
August.
smart. They just took the black. You got to take the black chips, so you can't take the 1,000, 10,000 chips and $25,000.
No,
chips.
they got tracking in those things.
Yeah, that's
Yep,
what I assumed.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it says it's
how
3
come you don't
teenagers did that.
Was it 3? It looked like 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, TK, have you thought about playing online? I mean, we have a small bankroll. You could just grind out something, maybe playing like the online casinos. That would be interesting.
So I've been looking for some online casinos, but I didn't know what the legalities were here in Maryland. Again, like I've only been here like 2 years. I live in the city. Well, kind of like just on the outside of the city.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
there's
live
only
in,
a couple
downtown.
states that have it, like let's see, Michigan. Maryland's not one of them, but you would have to play in the gray area, so you'd essentially have to play in an offshore casino, which is fine because you probably don't want to put a bunch of money in there anyway to deposit because you may never see it again. But most casinos now, the ones that you've heard of, Bovada and a couple other ones like that, but they're all based offshore. You could probably pay, real cheap dollar games or, 20, 50-cent games or something like that, just to kind of, whenever you don't have to save up, a bankroll to go down to the big tables.
Right.
It is a good option.
I did find like some fake training games online that I play.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, Crapsy. You gotta go on Crapsy. We play Crapsy all the time. You should check it out. Actually, for like,
Gotcha.
what is it, Jeremy? Like $5 a month, 50
Yeah.
bucks a year. You can get a
Yeah.
subscription, and the whole community plays it. So you can play it
Okay.
live and test your strategies for not that much money. But you can check out Dice D10's channel. He does play, I think, Evolution. I think it's something like that. It's a craft, but they use crypto to fund the bankroll, and then they pay you out. I asked, I'm like, what about taking out money? Taking out money, they pay you out in Bitcoin, I think.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of those casinos they pay you out in some sort of crypt. You could choose usually a different type of crypto, and then
Yeah.
hopefully it doesn't go drop a bunch before you cash it out into U.S. dollar. But
Right.
all
All right,
right.
guys.
Thanks for the
Thanks.
call, Jen. Bye bye. Let's see. Stanley says 2,400 for one-time Dallas drawdown or 1,000 for Iron Cross big ass bankrolls. Brock 308. If the dice go off the table, I bet the field. Okay, a little superstition there, a little trigger to bet his field bet. Crowd pleaser says, does TK feel the game is moving very fast, or does he already know what bet he's going to make right after they roll? So that's a good question.
That's a good question. No, I mean I'm still a beginner. I mean, so yeah, I do feel the game moves very quickly, especially here in the East Coast. I mean, I you know, um, so other than the one time that I actually won that money, the second and third time, again, I had like a couple $100. I did pass line and bonus. I was too scared to try to jump into like some of the side bets, like your hops, your hearts, the horn
Yeah,
bets and
you
stuff.
don't really need those. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I was,
even
I was too
yeah, it
scared.
seems fast to even cover
Yeah,
the other numbers 4, 5, 9, 10. It's
yeah.
just yeah, you'll get there. You'll get there.
Hmm.
Rage Shifty says, Jeremy, have you by chance had the opportunity to play the 3RX coming on a cruise? No, I haven't been on a cruise since I've done that video. I'll have to run that through Dicer a couple times more. It seems to be really good, but I want to compare it against some other things. And but I'm going on a cruise. Are we in May yet?
Hmm.
I'm going on a cruise this
May,
month sometime.
May
So
4th.
I will let you know. It'll be my first play. So we'll see how close I get to Prime on one cruise, but hopefully I'll play some. I just got a message from Jim, the professor. He said, hey, buddy, leaving the wedding. Heading your way. Should be there in about 45. Heading your way. I don't know. He usually talks to type, so it says all kinds of random stuff. Let's see. Looking for more questions here. What have you found as the big difference between playing? So you just played slots, or did you play video poker, or
No, just lots. Um,
okay,
I've always, until I played craps. I mean, I played roulette a few times,
okay,
and I mean, I've had good luck. I've never lost any real money. But I've watched a couple of videos on some different strategies on that. But I've always kind of been like timid, not really scared, but more intimidated by table games, just because like I never had the understanding of them. But um, like after doing like research and watching videos and stuff, I see now that like craps and baccarat have like the lower house edges
mm-hmm,
than slot machines,
mm-hmm.
and like so here at Caesars, like I looked at my win loss stadium just for last year, and like I lost like 6 grand on the slots.
Yeah,
So like that house says, I mean, I won some, but
right.
I lost way more than I won.
Yeah, from the
But
most part, that's gambling. But yeah, there are the table games are typically better. You ever try any card games or anything? I figure with a military background, you'd be all into cards and stuff like that.
nah, I mean,
Not so
I'm a
much.
typical Jersey boy. I mean, I played spades growing up. Like I said, I just started watching videos on baccarat and uh, got my little book here now.
Okay, yeah,
So I haven't played yet, but maybe when I come out for DiceCon,
yeah. You
maybe I
should
can
try
find
it
some.
out.
Maybe I can find somebody to go sit with me.
Probably over there, if the craps tables are 25 and then 50, the baccarat tables are probably like 100 or more. They would start because usually they're higher
Oh,
priced.
they're high price. Yeah. Only thing that I knew before I like read
Typically.
this, before I read this book and watched some videos. Was I mean, I only heard the background in like James Bond's movies.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't have money to play that.
There is a, because a slot machine, you don't have to worry about any like mistakes or anything. It's just like you and a machine, right? And you can take your
Hmm.
time at it. But yeah, the tables, it's like you're with other people and you don't know if they have like expectations like, hey, you should know how to play or whatever. And then you have a live dealer who's like staring at you. So yeah, it's a
Hmm.
little intimidating for different personalities. Some people don't care. They're like, just go for it. Raid Shifty
Hmm.
says, I'm going on Celebrity Apex Saturday to Norway. Okay. Plan to experiment with the 3RX coming. It works well when I practice at home. Yeah, I really liked it. And I don't know if you've seen, I posted, I think on Facebook or something. It's an unlisted video, so you won't find it on my YouTube page. I'll try to find it and share it here. Um, but it's certain it ran profitable almost every time over, but I was running over long term over a lot of shooters. It would dip down a little bit, but it always would end up after thousands of rolls, and it was smoking the original 3RX strategy that I was comparing it against. So let me see if I can find that link. Let's see. In the meantime, Crowd Please asks another question. Does TK know the payouts for the various bets, especially the props? Does he know about the house edge on the bets? So
No, I sure
do
don't.
you know
I'm
the
still
payouts and stuff yet? No.
no. I mean, again, like watching some of your videos, I know how you explain some of the payouts, but it's still
Yeah,
it's a
it
little
takes
bit
a while to
fast. Yeah,
process. And
yeah.
all right, let's see, switch account. Let's see. Jim says house edge is real, and ignoring it doesn't make it go away. On my way home from the wedding. See you guys in about. I don't know if we'll be on that long, Jim. I don't know if we'll be on there in 45 minutes. All right, let's see. I didn't post it to my main. I posted it to the YouTube, to the Color Up podcast channel. So we don't have hundreds of viewers like we do on the big channel normally. Let's see. So we have less interaction going on. He mentioned dice setting. What set does he use, and does he believe it affects his 7 to rolls ratio? Oh,
Uh, yeah. So the few videos that I've watched, they actually show like putting the fours on top and having your sixes out front, and I guess that's your threes on the bottom. And then I learned about the 3V also,
okay.
and then
Yeah, so the hard way set, and then
hardware set. Yeah,
the V3V or whatever is the
yeah, three
super
V.
popular one.
Mm-hmm. Um, do I believe it affects my role? Yeah. But I think it's also I watched a video yesterday about how you actually hold the dice and like your fingers here, which I'm still trying to master, and having your thumb not all the way down, and like how you hold the dice, and get that flick. So I mean,
Yeah,
again,
there's
I'm still
different.
starting, but hopefully I'll get there.
Once you get into it, you'll find that there's different like schools of thought and different teachers. Like
Hmm.
they tell you different grips. It's just like any kind of athletic endeavor. Like everyone or everyone
Yeah.
has like different methods that they think is
Hmm.
the best way. So you'll see more and more of that. Like some people are like, you got to have a hard grip and three fingers in front, or some people are
Hmm.
like a loose grip and or rotate it different ways. There's all. It's you're just getting into a whole can of
Yeah.
worms,
Right. Right. Right.
but it's a lot of fun. Holy Roller said, "Thank you for your service, TK."
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah.
What branch did you do?
I was in the U.S. Navy. Served overseas in Sigonella, Sicily. Then I was on the board the USS Enterprise before they decommissioned her in 2012. Did a world deployment, gone for 9 months. Stayed in the we were part of Operation Enduring Freedom.
Okay.
Stayed in the Gulf for about 90 days, and then we went out to Asia. But before I joined the Navy, I lived in Germany for 8 years. When I was in my early 20s, got tired of being in New York, and when I was 22, I decided to get up and just move, and ended up staying there until I was almost 30.
You would think that Navy would have taught you craps. I mean, they're like famous for. I mean, basically, the World War II guys are the ones who kind of made craps famous in America because they all play dice. You know.
Yeah, man. Well, I was fortunate because my first duty station, I was overseas. I went overseas, and so it was like having a regular job. It was like working from like 8 to 4, no weekends. I mean, I was in Italy, man. It was if I could have stayed there, man. I'm telling
Yeah, you like it there.
Oh man.
I visited there once. Yeah, it was a pretty cool place. Um, SWK4LF. I don't know if I don't know if that means anything, but anyway, he said my story to craps is just like TK. I played the ATS the first time, won big,
All
and
tall,
now it's
all
up and down
small.
as expected. Yeah, all tall, small.
Mhm.
Yep, that's how they sucker you in. He also says I do the hard way set as well, but I haven't mastered the toss. I will
Yeah,
say
me either.
whatever I'm doing is working most of the time. So very
Yeah.
good.
Like I said,
Um,
I actually got a nerve and threw last week, and I think the ninth toss out I rolled big red, but I mean for the first time ever doing it,
yeah,
I
nice.
felt good.
Seahawks for
Big up
life.
life.
Okay, that makes sense. This is a funny comment because Brian Holy Roller, he has a YouTube channel. It's all about cruising and craps, playing craps
Mhm.
on a cruise, and he
Oh,
basically said you're a cruiser.
yeah, yeah.
Maybe not a luxury cruiser,
Right, right.
but
Oh,
you make
don't
it
get it.
work for
I,
your
yeah,
passage.
I went on a cruise. I went on the Royal Caribbean like a year and a half ago,
Oh, okay.
and that was my first time doing a cruise like outside of the Navy, and I felt in love, man.
Oh, really? I wondered if like you would hate
What?
it because you were always on a boat and stuff, or ship. Sorry.
My initial thought was I wasn't gonna like it. I was like, a buddy of mine, we served together. He's like, come on, and we left from New York, going to the Bahamas 7 days, and I'm like, dude, I I mean, like we're on the boat over here. I'm like, I don't want to do this. He's like, nah, you gotta come. So begrudgingly, I came, and by day 2, I was like, man,
So a little different than working the boat, huh? You actually
right?
get to relax and just eat all and just chill,
Yeah,
right?
I was just like, what did you open my mind up to? I was like, I love this.
Okay, so back then you didn't do craps. So did you play any slots in the
Oh man, I
casino
was
there?
killing them, man. I won like 3 grand. I paid for the whole cruise and on them. I was hot on those machines, man. I
Oh,
was
let's
killing them.
go.
I
Let's
was
go.
killing 'em. I was
But you,
like,
but you
man,
haven't been back yet, huh?
nah, just because I can't, like I don't know any cruise to do by myself, and like I've been getting so many flyers from Royal Caribbean,
Yeah.
but it's I need a
You need
role
someone to go with
partner,
you.
but I'm telling you, man, that cruise like right there, I was like, yeah, man, this I love this.
Rage Shifty says, "Go Navy,
Uh,
retired HMCS
uh,
SS submarine." You probably
see,
know what that
yeah,
means.
yeah,
We call carriers
Master
targets.
Chief. Oh man, that's very true though. Thanks for
uh,
your service.
Crowd pleaser says, "Cleveland Cavaliers just lost game one." All right, he must be watching the basketball game.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm a diehard Giants fan, born into it, Jersey boy. So pissed off with the draft, but what are you gonna do?
So their big pick was the Jackson Dart, right? The QB.
Yeah,
You didn't like that.
I mean we got 3 quarterbacks. What do we need another quarterback
I
for? I
don't know.
mean,
Who's your
what do you,
quarterbacks? Who you got? We're going to turn this
so
into a football show right
we
now.
got DeVito, the young guy.
Okay.
And then we got
Which I
uh
guess a lot of New Yorkers love that guy. Like
yeah, man. I
they
mean,
love his swagger and
kid,
he did pretty
yeah,
well. And
kid's like 22, 23 years old. He did good. I mean, he's a
okay.
kid. Then we got Russell Wilson came on board.
Okay.
Um,
Got the
a
veteran.
lot of people are, he's getting old, but hey, man, he's tried to improve. I mean, he's been in the
Right.
league. Then we got the new draft pick, and I forgot the other guy. But it's like we don't need any more quarterbacks. We need a D line and an O line. You
So you
know,
just felt it was a waste to pick a QB so
yeah.
early. Mm.
So I
Yeah.
mean, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, I'm putting a lot of faith in Russell Wilson. To, maybe mentor DeVito because I like the kid. I mean, you know, he's got good character. He's a good guy. I mean, I got
Well, the
I hope he
Browns
does.
have 5 quarterbacks and we drafted 2 rookies. That's my team is Cleveland.
Okay, right.
So I have no idea what they're doing. I think I do, but it's kind of weird. We
Yeah.
got the old veteran Joe Flacco, which is way older
Mhm.
than Russell Wilson.
Right.
Then we got Oh, we got Kenny Pickett, which I guess Pittsburgh gave up on him. He's a
Mm.
couple years in the league, but still relatively new.
I mean, that's how we did with Shaquan Barkley. We gave up on him and
Oh,
freaking goes to the Eagles and wins the damn Super Bowl.
I watched uh what's that show that they cover on about NFL and then they follow the team before the
Oh
season.
yeah, training is
Uh
that training camp or something like that? There,
Something like that, but it was all and
yeah,
then
the whole
just to
season.
watch them like struggling to be like, should we sign Barkley or not? I'm
I know.
like what I mean, of course you do. The guy's like I have my phone was making noise. I had to disconnect it. I'll try to reconnect it. If anyone wants to make a call, you can talk to us live. Brian Sipe, yeah, that's old school Cleveland
Brian,
Brown stuff.
yeah.
Bernie Kosar, Brian Sipe, and then ever since, I think we've got the record since '99. It's like we're like on quarterback number 40. Hard Knocks, Jim says yes. Hard
Oh
Knocks
yeah,
is the
Hard Knocks.
show.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but when they were covering it, it was funny. The GM was asking like his kids like who he should draft at quarterback, right? And they, his kid, the GM's kid said, "Oh yeah, you should get Jaden Daniels. He's going to be a star." And obviously, the Giants didn't get him, and he went out. He said that I was a star. I was like, "Dang on it, they did everything wrong."
Yeah.
John MC's in saying, "Go Browns." He's a Browns fan from up Canada way. All right, any more craps questions for us? Anything, or you can ask us anything. I call it. I don't know if everyone knows, in YouTube lingo, AMA is ask me anything. So you want to know about?
Didn't know that.
It is official. I will be moving to Vegas this next month, so that'll be a big change. So any questions about Vegas or craps or?
So I have a question for you, Jeremy. So like moving
Yeah.
to Vegas, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's different. Like I mean, like when I went there, I mean, obviously I was there for like 4 days. I mean, I was on the strip and then went that one day to Fairmont Street. But like, what are neighborhoods? I mean, are they like off of the strip? I mean, do people live on the strip? I mean, like I know, like what? How does
Yeah,
that
I mean,
work?
I assume there are some people that live on the strip in high rises and stuff like that. But
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's just like it's it's all just suburban neighborhoods. It just I mean,
Hmm.
there's like 2 million. I think it's like 2 million people there. So it's a
Oh, wow.
decent sized city, but it's literally just the strip of casinos and then the town around it with just suburbs everywhere. So, and then my wife's rule was as far away from the strip as possible. So we're like, it's got to be outside. You know how every city has like a highway loop around it. It has to be
Yeah, yeah,
outside the loop. Um, and it looks like we've secured a place. I haven't signed the papers yet, but it looks like we've got a place that'll be close to the mountains and outside the loop and as far away from the strip as possible. So I checked all of our boxes. So
right,
we'll
right.
see how that goes. But
Nice.
yeah. I from what I'm told, yeah, a lot of people. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of people that are kind of work on the strip, and the work's related to that industry and service industry. But
Hmm.
once you get out, you live in a suburb, you go to the grocery store, gas station. It's just like anywhere else, the high school
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Question: the term bonus bet, is that the same as ATS or fire bet? Thanks. So the official name of the fire bet is the is called bonus bet, I believe. Or did I get that backwards? Let's see. Craps. I've made so many videos on this, you'd think I'd know right away. Bonus craps. No, bonus craps is sorry, I did it backwards. Bonus craps is actually the official name of the. I could probably share a screen here. Let's see if I can. It's by Galaxy Gaming, and it's bonus craps. So a lot of times you'll see that logo on there, and they pay a fee. You have to pay like a licensing fee to have that bet. And so what you've seen is a couple, I think it was a certain period of time, and then other people were allowed to copy it. So now you've seen people copy it, and they call it like boom or bust. I think there's like 3 or 4 different versions that are essentially the same thing. You roll the low numbers, the high numbers, and then all the numbers. But the first one that came out was bonus craps, and that is the official name of ATS. And now everyone just calls it ATS or, short for all, tall, small. But yeah, that's that. What is the official rule on when the dice is thrown high, hits you, and falls back on the table? So I guess if you're at the end of any time a dice hits you and falls on the table, it counts as a roll, unless the person tries to manipulate some way. So like if they try to catch it or it hits in their hand and then they drop it or something like that, then it would be a no roll. But if it just kind of bounced off their chest or bounced off someone's face or off their, they stuck in their elbow and off their elbow, that counts as a roll. So obviously there is some sort of gray area there where people could say, well, he was trying to block it or whatever. But yeah, typically if it bounces off anything, counts as a roll. Brian asks, Jeremy, anything in the works with Sports Grid and a casino partnership for Color Up? Yes, they are working. The production team is at work. They're trying to kind of, I don't know TV. So they're writing up like a treatment or something they're calling it. And so the opportunity, they have some partners, and then I might be able to bring my own. But there's going to be opportunity there in Vegas. So they're working on the production end of it, and then they're either going to use their partner or I'm going to, hopefully find someone that's willing. And we will be doing like a live crap show from a casino, live dice play. So
it's cool.
Hopefully my dream of having a show about, my idea is that it will kind of be covered like they cover poker, just make it like a sport. So that's the idea. And
let me come out. Let me know. I'll come out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a lot of time on my hands now. So
yeah, Holy Roller says he's in too.
Yeah, I've watched some of his videos. He's got some good videos too.
Yeah, he does good stuff. I was just talking to him today. I'm gonna roll out some of his strategies online pretty soon.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I know a lot of gamblers are superstitious.
Yeah.
So for me, when I got your package, you had a couple of chips in there. So the $100 chip, it called me crazy, but like I keep that in my pocket, and I haven't lost yet. So
the lucky chip. Huh?
Well, why change it?
Yeah, until it doesn't work anywhere, right? Keep it going. Let's see. For that reason, I try to stand off to the side and let it go out of play. One time it hit someone and Big Red rolled. Yeah, I mean, mathematically 1 out of 6 times Big Red's going to roll. So, and then, but if you do stick your hand in or late bet or anything like that and it hits you, most people do yell at you like, oh, come on, because they, like TK just said, everyone's superstitious and, all of a sudden you cause the 7. So I don't necessarily believe that, but, there are a lot of players that do believe that. So, yeah, it's best to keep your hands out of the tub, especially
I just
when it's
learned
not
that
time
the
to
hard
bet.
way.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I'm still trying to get the etiquette of the table down.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had a drink and I didn't realize that you're supposed to put your drink under on that little thing. And I was just like, oh shit. And
yeah, they probably said, get your drink off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put your drink underneath. Yeah.
I wasn't watching for the puck and it was on, and like I just threw down some money.
Okay.
And I didn't know the guy had rolled the dice, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And he rolled Big 7, and the fucking table went crazy on me. I was like, shit.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
I was like, that's okay. I don't want to play anymore. Like this, I had to get up out of there, man. But
Wow.
it's a lot for me to learn. Like the subtle intricates and the, I guess you say, the common courtesies of the table.
Yeah, that's a big one. Whenever the puck's on and you throw in cash, and then Yeah, in the middle of a guy's roll, they get upset at you. But
Mm.
like Holy Roller just says, 5 out of 6 times it shouldn't roll red. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
But when it does, you become the goat, or not the goat in a good way. You become the goat in a bad way
Right.
at the table. Let's see here. Any other questions for me, TK, that kind of as a beginner that you've kind of wondered about or haven't kind of come across in a video to answer or anything like that?
Yeah. So one of the things I was watching one of your videos, and um, you were saying like to cover the the inside numbers. So what does that actually mean? Like inside numbers? Is that like the? Cause I know like the numbers you have like your 4, 5, 6, 8, with 9, 10. But what are
Yeah,
the inside
I'm
numbers?
looking for a map that I have handy just to visually do it. But um, so the it gets a little confusing because some of the numbers are, so the numbers in the middle are the 6 and 8, right? So
Hmm.
if you look at the numbers, so seven's the middle, but it's not listed, right?
Right.
And then the next probability is the 6 and 8. So 6 and 8 is definitely inside. And then next is the 5 and the 9. We call these sister numbers. So 6 and 8, 5 and 9.
Hmm.
Whenever you talking about inside, you're talking about 5 through 9. So those are the inside numbers.
Okay.
Now, where it gets confusing is, so the only numbers left are the 4 and 10. So
Right.
those are definitely the outside number. But if you say, hey, I want to bet the outside, you usually include the 4, 5, 9, and 10. So
Mm.
it's like the 5 and 9 can go either way. So inside is the inside 4 numbers, outside is the outside 4 numbers. So it's just an easy way to communicate, hey, I want the inside numbers.
Hmm.
And or vice versa, if you wanted to bet the outside numbers, you'd go, hey, I want to bet the outside numbers. So the dealer would just assume you want 4, 5, 9, and 10.
Right. Right.
Now the only difference is if the puck is on a number, sometimes they just assume you have a bet on the pass line. So let's say the puck's on the 5 and you said, hey, I want to bet the inside, and the puck's on the 5. So they'd probably go, okay, so the inside for you is 6, 8, and 9. So if you didn't have a pass line or whatever, you would usually have to say, I want the inside including the point. So they would know,
Okay.
okay, I want to cover the 5, 6, 8, and 9. And works the same if the puck's on the 5 and you want the outside, he would just assume it's the 4, 9, and 10. But you would say, hey, I want including the point, so it would be 4, 5, 9, and 10. So
Mhm.
yeah, inside 4 numbers, outside is the outside 4 numbers, and the 5 and 9 just kind of depend. And then the other term is across, which means across all the numbers.
Yeah. So, like since here in Maryland, at least most of the tables are $25. Like most of your videos are based off like a $10 table. So if
Yeah,
you wanted the 6 and 8 number, I know on the $10 would be 36 to cover both. But what's the math on a $25 table? Would it be like $50 to cover both, or
$30.
for to cover both of them?
Oh, to cover both of them would be $60 because the minimum bet on, so a minimum bet on $25 table, the outside numbers, we'll stick with
Mm-hmm.
that, 5, 9, 5, no, 4, 5, 9, and 10 are $25. And then the 6 and 8 are also $25, but to make them proper, you have to bump it up to the next number divisible by 6. So then it would go to a $30 bet. So the
Okay.
minimum is $30 on the 6 and 8. So to have them both, it's going to
Yeah,
cost you $60.
60.
Yep, on a $25 table. So
All right.
you could set down $60, say I want the 6 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
Inside would be 110. I want 110 inside.
Okay. Yeah, those numbers be coming quick sometimes, and they're trying to do the math. As the
Yeah.
game is going, it's like, man, this thing's moving fast.
Yeah, you'll get used to it. And Holy Roller says uptown versus downtown. That's, sometimes people will call the low numbers 4, 4, 5, 6 downtown, and the higher numbers uptown. But I've heard people reverse them. So that's not. I don't know that that's a thing, Brian. The uptown downtown thing. John MC says, "Has TK ordered his DiceCon jersey yet?" I don't think so. He's
Yeah, yeah, I did.
oh, you has?
Oh yeah, oh, hey, I mean,
Okay, he's got the
so
jersey going.
I'm hoping that I ordered it right because I did it out of it. When I saw DiceCon, I just got really excited. So hopefully I ordered the jersey right. But I did order it and use the code. Somebody in the chat gave me the code, so I ordered it.
Oh, a discount
Maybe
code.
yeah, the
Okay,
discount code. So maybe I
yeah,
ordered it. I want to say the 24th of April. So fingers crossed it comes before.
yeah. Usually, yeah, people are seeing 3 or 4 weeks. I don't know now that this tariff stuff has
Yeah.
because it does come from overseas. So
Mm,
I don't know how that affects things. But Rate Shifty's got to go. But thanks for the link. Yeah. So if you look in the comments, I shared the link to that video I was talking about earlier.
okay.
The crowd pleaser says, Jeremy, do you keep detailed record of your gambling results, business expense? Um, I do keep. Well, nowadays I only play on the cruise, so I do keep record. Um, yeah, I do keep record, but you can't deduct gambling losses. You can only deduct them against gambling wins. So really, and because at the craps table you don't get a W2G. Basically, if I ever play slots and get a jackpot, get a W2G, then I would go say, "Hey, I won 2,000 at a slot. I lost," and I would have evidence that I lost 2,000 in craps. But I can't, I can't deduct it as a business expense, um, as a gambling loss. Now I can deduct my travel to casino, hotels at the casino, the Ubers, the airfare, all the food, like everything related, I can actually deduct as a business expense because say I'm making a video or doing research or whatever. So that part I can, but uh, yeah, I don't think I can deduct actual gambling, the gambling part. But if I do it live on video, I don't know. It's a tricky area. I am in the middle of kind of switching, um, like accountant, whatever, tax dudes. And so it may be that I can because it's not personal money at that point. It's literally winning and losing money for my business now. So yeah, I don't. It's an interesting question that I don't have the exact answer for, and I really should probably talk to other gambling YouTubers. Right? um, Holy Roller's going to start betting $32 downtown. Okay, and they're going to ask you, is that it might be like the East Coast downtown is the higher number, as 8, 9, and 10. The West Coast downtown might be 4, 5, and 6. So that's the tricky part, Brian. John says, TK, I'm looking forward to meeting you at DiceCon. Bye for now. Thanks for the podcast. Thanks,
Yeah,
John.
me
We'll see
too,
you
John.
there.
Yeah, see you there, buddy.
Yeah, you'll love it. There's a lot of great people that come out.
Yeah, it looks like I saw the 22 and 23 from your videos, and it just got me more excited.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm just looking forward to meet some cool people, hanging out, man, and having a good time.
Jim Cartwright says, has TK been to Vegas before? Are you staying on the Strip or downtown for DiceCon? He had answered that, but go ahead and re-answer that. So you've been to the Strip
Yeah, so my
last
first
year or 2 years ago?
last year. So last June was my first time. Uh, I went to Vegas and I stayed at the Planet Hollywood on the Strip.
Okay.
Had a great time. I fell in love, and this time I'm staying at MGM Grand on the Strip.
So
So
were these comps from your from Maryland
yeah,
Live? Is that an MGM property?
no, so that was from going to MGM down National Harbor,
Oh, National Harbor.
and
National Harbor, right.
yeah, and then for Planet Hollywood last year I got comp because it's a Caesar's property, and so that's like one of the casinos that's like right by my house that I go to,
Okay.
and then since I'm from Jersey, it's like an hour and a half. I mean, I go home all the time, and I mean, I hang out in Atlantic City. So I mean, like I'm always at like either MGM property or Caesar property. But my favorite one in Atlantic City is a Hard Rock. So like I have rewards there too for Hard Rock, I'm got legend status there. Then for Caesars, I have platinum. But
What do you think of? So what do you think of Atlantic City versus Vegas? Because I've
yeah, it's no.
heard that it's got some nice places, but it's a little. It got run down, but it's obviously only has a few casinos compared, right?
There's no comparison in my man. I mean, like, and I'm, maybe I'm biased. Like, I'm from Jersey, but like when I went to Vegas, I was like, holy crap, man! Like, I love it out there, man. It was like an adult playground for me.
Yeah.
Atlantic City, like if you leave the boardwalk area, like there's nothing there, and it's pretty shady, like off the boardwalk and casino area. Like if you go like a
I
block
mean, it's
away
shady.
from
It's
there,
shady off the strip area, but it's such a large area that you could stick to. That's pretty
yeah, yeah,
safe
yeah, you're pretty safe,
and
but
entertainment, right? It's just a bigger,
hmm
bigger
yeah,
area. But yeah,
but it just, at least for me, it doesn't compare to Las Vegas. I mean, the Las Vegas is just such, I don't know, man. It was so cool. I mean, I had a great time.
nice. I thought I saw a spreadsheet somewhere regarding where everyone is staying in for DiceCon. Yes, in the DiceCon channel in my Discord, they share it. It should be linked in that channel, and then someone I forget who's kind of running it, but you just kind of let them know, or you can edit. I think add your own name to the spreadsheet, but yeah, there is a spreadsheet to see kind of where everyone's staying. But
Okay, yeah,
usually people stay all over Vegas because it's wherever you got comps. So there'll be people
right.
on the strip, there'll be people downtown. But
hmm
that's what's great about Vegas is usually most people can get their hotels for free. You won't like the summer weather sweat. Not
Uh,
true. Not true. I lived in Phoenix for a couple years, and I like the heat a lot better than I like the cold. So I don't mind the heat. I usually found 100 to 110. If you're in the shade, can actually still be very comfortable. Now, anytime it's like 115 though, that's legit hot. But yeah. So I think Phoenix is pretty comparable. Actually, I think Vegas is a little higher elevation than Phoenix. But yeah, I'm used to the hot, so it's not that big a deal. I kind of like it.
I'm like you, Jeremy. I'd rather be in the heat than this dang on cold. I mean, the older I get, the less I like the cold. So,
Yeah, I grew up kind of an Ohio kid, and just kind of the wet snow and humidity, and yeah, not great. So, and now, like even now, I think my house, like here it rained today in Reno. It's like it's 53, but I'm like freezing. My hands are like numb, and I'm like, it's not even that cold. But I mean, I don't mind sweating and it being 100 degrees versus 50. So yeah, no, the heat's not gonna bother me. That was another requirement. So we got to be as far away from the strip as possible. My wife said we got to have a pool. So whether the house has a pool or we're in a community with a pool, either one's fine. So I was able to pull that off. We do have access to a pool, so that is key in Vegas. All right. Well, Jim, I don't know if you're going to make it. The questions are dying down, and me and TK have been at it for almost an hour, which I really appreciate you coming in,
hmm
sharing a little bit about yourself, your background, and hanging out with us.
yeah, no problem. So the place that like dealer place where they were having Dice Con at, I forgot the name of the school,
Casino Quest.
Casino Quest. So that's actually like just a training ground, so to speak, right? Because
Yeah,
I started watching their videos too.
yeah, they have two channels actually. They have CEG, which I don't know what that stands for. It's like Casino Entertainment. I don't know what it means. But CEG Dealers. So
hmm
they had a school where they just teach dealing, and then they started Casino Quest, which is more of like it's more for the public. So it's like they sell stuff, retail stuff, and then they sell like just people like beginners, like come and
Yeah.
you pay like $25 an hour or whatever, and you play and can learn all the games. They'll teach you baccarat, craps, roulette, all the table games, blackjack. So you can kind of get comfortable before you go
Go to the.
out on the strip. So they used to have those like separate, but now it's all in one kind of big building. But yeah, so they do both training actual students to go in the casinos, and then they have like a public front side where people can learn the games, with no risk. So it's a really cool
Yeah.
model.
Nice.
Craftsmaster Journey, fellow YouTubers saying hello, just popping in. TK, do you have a strategy that you stick to? He's kind of mentioned that.
Yeah. So the first time I played, again, it was just so happenstance. I was watching the table, and one of the guys said, "Hey, you can't learn the game unless you get in, put some skin in." And so,
Not true, by the way.
well,
You can learn a little, but yeah, I mean, it is a good. I mean, it
learn,
is to just watch. You're not gonna get
yeah,
it, but that's why I usually recommend people like get something at home,
mhm,
and kind of move things around, because that's the best way to learn for a lot of people. But yeah,
yeah,
so if you actually put money down and see it in action, you pay attention and you'll learn quick.
yeah. But a strategy per se, I don't have like a strategy. The few times that I played, again, pure luck. I did the bonus, 10, 10, and 10 on the bonus, all tall, all small, win them all. But again, like watching Jeremy's videos and doing some research, the one at least for me that stuck out is um, putting on the pass line and then placing a comeback, because I know every time they roll another number, that comeback's going to move to that number. So then eventually I have coverage on all numbers since I have a small bankroll.
Yeah, it's tough because he's playing in Baltimore area with the $25 table. So
Okay.
Stanley says, question: when you get Vegas comp offers, do you still get stuck with resort fees? So
Hmm.
I can answer in general. Comps differ. So sometimes comps come with no, or a lot of them you still have to pay resort fees. Some comps, depending on your level, your status, or the casino, sometimes they will completely comp them, including resorts fees. So what has been your experience, TK?
So like even for this trip, like the room is comp, but I have to pay the resort fee, which is for MGM Grand, it's like 50 a day. But
Okay.
still, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, for like I'm going out the day before that Sunday, coming back Thursday, and I think I'm paying like $220 or something. I mean, it's
Yeah, that's
nothing.
like probably one night at a Baltimore
Yeah.
hotel. Yeah.
Hmm.
Holy Roller says I pay no resort fees. Yeah, that's because he's a big baller. So yeah, like when I'm going for DiceCon, I'm staying, I think across this. I'm either at Luxor or Mandalay Bay. I can't remember. And then I'm getting like a discounted resort fee, but I do have to pay a resort fee. Like I don't, I think it's like $15 or something. It's like a discounted resort
Wow.
fee. I don't know. It was like a special. But then like my brother who plays a lot, he has like a 2-bedroom suite at wherever, and they completely comp everything, and there are no resort fees. So it just kind of depends.
Yeah.
They can offer anything, obviously. Holy Roller's still milking the Sahara comps, so he's paying no resort fees there. And then, like, yeah, so Sahara is one of those casinos, like, they're really trying to draw customers in, right? Because, they're on the north end, not as popular, right? So, a good way to entice people is, hey, the resort fees covered. Let's see. Golden Nugget waived resort fees during DiceCon 25 dates. So that's interesting. So if you're booking at the Golden Nugget, but you'd have to pay the room fee, unless you're comped, and then you don't have resort fees. If you can kind of stack those benefits, that'd be cool. Yeah, I think I also have booked a room. Not me, my brother booked it for me at the Golden Nugget, just so I'll have a place downtown. But now that I'm moving there, I think I'll actually be in my house before, so that'll be really beneficial, I think, because normally I pack up the truck and drive down there, and if I forget anything, it's like tough luck. But it's going to be a lot different being based in Vegas down the street. So
So is Reno not Vegas? Is that like two separate places?
yeah, so Reno is North Nevada, same
Okay.
state, but it is about an 8-hour drive.
Oh,
So yeah, Nevada is a very big city or big state, and there's really only there's a couple other smaller towns, but really
mhm.
there's only the two cities. There's Vegas and Reno, and they are 8 hours apart. They're not close.
Wow.
Yeah, quick plane trip, but can't always pull that off. So
Man.
the 8 hour drive is pretty brutal, and it's through a desert of nothingness.
Oh,
So
man.
it's not a fun drive.
Yeah, I got a hard time driving home, which is like, Jersey's under 2 hours from Baltimore.
Yeah, yeah. The whole East Coast has got all kinds of stuff going on.
Nah,
Someone
these
just
damn.
asked me what time when's the podcast, and I didn't really announce it.
Oh,
He's probably assuming I'm on the main channel, but I didn't do the main channel because I don't know yeah. I'm just gonna run it on these channels these every other week, and then I'll go back every other week. So if people who were popping in didn't catch it the early, so every other week it will be the official podcast. So we're gonna keep it on Sundays, but we'll have a themed topic that me and Jim will cover. So 2 Sundays a week it will be the official podcast, and then 2 weeks it will be just hanging out. So if you're a Color Up Green Club member, I'll have you on as guest host, and we're just kind of talking and answering questions, and just easy breezy, so we can kind of chill. And hey, look at this! What is this? We've got Jim in the house.
Hey.
Hey, welcome. I didn't think you were going to make it before I hung up.
No, I thought you were getting close. I was in the
You
car.
might give us a second win now because I was running out of stuff to say.
Oh,
I
I
got a
can't
question
believe
here.
Go
What
ahead.
made you choose to move to Vegas? So a couple things. So we are now officially empty nesters. My last daughter went to college locally here this past year, and now she's going further away in California. So she's going away. It was the number one reason. So we're just kind of here, right? And then my wife actually works out of Los Angeles, and commuting from or flying, she commutes by plane, flying from Reno to Los Angeles is a little tricky. Whereas if we lived in Vegas, she can fly Vegas, LA, no problem, right? It's a super short flight, and all the airlines do it all day long. So it'd be super easy for her work. So that was number two. And then number three was, for me, it's the casino capital of the world, right? So there's a lot more potential opportunity for me, and what I've been doing here with Color Up. So that is the three main reasons why I'm choosing to move to Vegas. Now I can tell you this: I've never really been impressed with the city overall.
What?
I love Reno. Yeah. Because Reno is very different. Reno is like a proper city that happens to have 10 casinos, right? Where Vegas is a bunch of casinos
That happens to have a city.
that happen to have suburbs around it. It's like they don't even have city, buildings or anything. It's like there's nothing over 2 stories unless it's a casino in Vegas. It's very unique, hotels or casinos. So it's very unique. So long term, unless something changes, I mean, we mentioned earlier, we were talking about weather. I love the heat. We don't see ourselves living long term in Vegas, but I've got to take advantage of the popularity of Color Up while I can, I think. So, Vegas it is, at least for now. Any special guests this year at DiceCon? No, all the newer club members that are coming are our special guests. So, but no, I'm not having. It's not like a real. I know it's DiceCon. You think convention, but it's not like a real convention where I bring in speakers and that sort of thing. It's more of a club hangout together, like a annual meetup.
Well, but who knows, Jeremy, with you now being in Vegas and making new connections.
This
Could be the next World Series of Poker. We're on the cusp.
That's kind of the opportunities I'm talking about. A lot more people are willing to meet you when you're down the street than opposed to like, hey, I got to fly down from Reno or whatever, right? So, Crapsmaster says, Jim, I'm assuming he's talking about Jim. He could be talking about me or TK, but he says, looking sharp.
Well, thank you, Joe. I did put it in the comments when I got on here. So full disclosure, I just got back from a wedding. It was a black tie. You could wear a tuxedo or best with what you got. So I wore the fitted suit with the vest. That's why I'm not in my typical color up stuff there. So I like the rep the color up stuff. So full disclosure.
Krista just joined, so you may have covered, was your son in the 1/6 Cavalry? Yes. That's the sweatshirt I have. He was in the Army. He was a Apache mechanic. He's still in. He actually just switched from the Army to the Kansas National Guard, but he's been a recruiter in the Army for his last I don't know service. What is that? 3 years, 5 years? TK would probably know. But now he's switched over. He's doing the National Guard as a recruiter. But yeah, he started as Apache mechanic.
Yeah, so it goes for military. I mean, your initial like contract or whatever you call it is 4 years, and then anything after that is, you can do a year, 2 years, however many years you want to do.
Yeah, he's been there like I don't know, a dozen years or something like. So he's on his second or third contract, I guess. But Jim the Professor will be there. Yeah, he's talking about
DiceCon.
DiceCon,
yeah.
I'll be there too.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I know you wanted.
No, I didn't have anything. I was going to try to create some content by asking you questions. Like, was there any dice playing at this wedding, or what? I mean, what
no
happened?
Dice playing. Very good friend of mine who I taught with for all my teaching career, and she invited me to the wedding, and it's Cavalier. You can look it up online in Virginia Beach. It's the nicest hotel. It's up on a hill, historic hotel. And it's just like they redid it, and it's just elegant, very elegant place. Probably the most elegant place in Virginia Beach. Old school. I felt like I was in the Great Gatsby while I was in there. So it was very nice, very nice.
Chris said, "Thank him for his past and current service." Yeah, he's actually one of my top 5 videos of all time. I think it has like 1 million views. It's where he was asking me questions and I was explaining the game to him when he was just 18, or maybe he had turned 21. I can't remember the video. It's been a lot of years ago, but yeah, everyone loved that video. They got a lot out of it because he didn't know anything and he was asking, and so all the comments are usually, man, that's the question I would have asked. So it's been a very popular video. But that is the son.
And then you did another video.
I did one
with
a couple
your
years
daughter.
later with my daughter. Yeah,
right.
When she turned. Yeah, and she actually played craps for the first time. People have asked that. She usually goes with her fiance, boyfriend, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They go every once in a while and they'll play some slots. And she said she played electronic craps or bubble craps or something with like $40. And she goes, it didn't go well. But then she went to the blackjack table and won her money back. So
that's awesome.
She dabbles in gambling now. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Cool and Beyond just tuned in. How is everyone? How you doing? Welcome. Yeah, we're winding down. Maybe. I mean, Jim just showed up. I had guest host TK.
Yeah,
with
TK was killing it. I was listening to you, TK.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Lindsey Brown says hello to Jim.
Hey, Lindsey. Good to see you.
Yeah, so that's the plan. So every other week it'll be official podcast with a theme, and then just hanging out with whatever you guys want to talk about, shooting the breeze, having Green Club member guests in, whatever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you probably already had this with TK, and when was the first time you started playing? Because I missed the first 10, 15. When was the first time you played craps? Sound like you were a casino guy.
Yeah, so the first time I played craps was maybe a month and a half ago. I'm here in Baltimore, and I went to...
not too far from me.
Yeah, went to Live.
Okay.
And I bet on the bonus. Ended up winning
Jimmy hit the bonus.
Yeah,
on the bonus. First time, beginner's luck. Oh, wow.
And I just, from there, just the bug bit me. I mean, I had always liked the casino, and I from there I dove head first. Found Jeremy's videos and Color Up, and I just started, video, and Caesars is another casino that's like 10 minutes from my house. I live in downtown Baltimore, and I'm retiring at the end of the month, and yeah, so I'm gonna be
Congratulations.
yeah, I'm gonna have a lot of more time on my hands now.
That could be good or bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lindsay said, "Guess what, Jim?" I don't.
All right,
Must,
so
must be
I'm-
between you. Guess.
I
Just
don't know.
guess, Jim.
Guess what? I don't know, Lindsay.
Cool and Beyond said, Jeremy, did you try the lay 4 for 200 and place the inside for 110, then fully hedge after 2 hits? How were you rated? I really like that strategy. No, but I will be playing it. Like I said, I'm going on a cruise. I haven't been on cruising yet until this month. So some point this month, I'm going on a cruise. I'm actually going to Alaska cruise,
Oh, cool.
and I'll be playing it. But I always lay the 10, not the 4. So not that it matters, but I like laying the 10. Maybe I'll switch to the 4. Maybe the one time I switched, the dealer convinced me to switching. I'm like, all right, I'll switch to the 4. Bam, the 4 rolled and I lost my lay bet. So I will let you know how it's rated when I return, because I do plan on playing that way.
Awesome.
Guess what, Jim? Lindsay had a Doberman and her name was Onyx. Oh, Jim.
Okay. Well, there we go.
I still don't know what that means. Do you know?
She had a Doberman, and her name was Onyx. So there you go. Yeah, maybe the name was Onyx,
or
O'Jim.
was it not Onyx O Jim?
Yeah, maybe Onyx O'Jim. Could be. Could be.
Is this someone from your Facebook family
I think
group?
so.
Or?
I think so. I think it's Lindsay who I'm looking at.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm seeing the picture on there.
The 300 rating is really nice if they rate properly. I lay the 4. My bad. No. If it works for you, lay the 4. It mathematically it makes 0 difference. That's superstitious which number you pick, but yeah, hopefully they're rating. It would be nice if they rated 300, and then obviously I pull down after 3 rolls or whatever, after I've hit 2 inside numbers, and hopefully they don't go in the computer and change it. They keep
Now,
it up there.
what we need to ask the hard question either to somebody in the land-based casino or the on the ships is, why do the casinos on the ships, why do they count if you're playing light and dark side, and why does the land-based casino ignore that one way or the other?
I don't know
counts
that
half.
land-based does. I think they also discount offsetting bets.
But if you play light and darkness, they're rating you on the whole shebang, right?
Not always.
On the cruise?
Yeah. No, I mean, it's mixed results. Holy Rollers said he's never had a problem being properly rated, but there are people who we're guessing that they go up front, hey, if I bet the don't and then place the number, will I get rated? And they're like, let me think about it. No, because they're offsetting bets.
So better to ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Yes, do not ask up front. Just play it. Just play the game and you'll be fine.
Awesome.
It's Holy Rollers advice. We just came back from Vegas. If I didn't have to cover my wife's losses on the slot machines, I would have come back as a winner. Even caught a live bluff session. Oh, nice.
Cool.
Bluff he's like the new hot thing.
Big
gambler in on YouTube, and he's crazy. He plays all the big bets. So, but yeah, he plays at Elkhorn, has live a lot. So that's very cool. You got to see him. Yeah, that's the problem whenever you got a spouse. You got 2 bankrolls, but they're kind of tied together, and sometimes it works out. In your case, it did. One loses, one covers. But when you both have a bad trip, double whammy.
Yeah, no good. No good on that one.
Lay the 4 versus lay the 10, or lay both for half the money. I would. The idea of laying both makes sense because it's twice as cheap. Twice as cheap, yeah. So you can only lose once, right? So let's say
one per roll,
200.
yeah.
You could put 100 on one, 100 on the other. You still, if the 7 rolls, you still win back the same $100, but you obviously can't knock off both of them at the same time. So your risk is only 100. The problem is now you've doubled your chances of rolling one or the other, of losing the numbers. So for me, I'd rather have 3 dice combos that I can lose against instead of 6 dice combos I can lose with. So that's why I pick one or the other as for a lay bet. Cool and Beyond says, I feel you should be rated properly. You're risking 200 on the 4 for every roll, and you're risking technically 180 if you're fully hedged, only to get back 100 on the lay bet. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you should be rated 300, and then, but, first hit, I pull down my 9. Second hit, I pull down the lay. So at that point, I only have like $100 on the table, or 80 some or whatever. Yeah, but Greg says, but you double your chance of losing.
Yes, yeah. Greg's right on that, because
you go from 3 dice combos up to 6 dice combos. And kind of at that point, that's the same odds of rolling the 7. So you might as well just, what I mean. So you have 6 combos to lose. So I don't know.
But I guess whoever was making the point was saying it would be half the money. Like,
yeah, you do double your chance of losing, but now instead of losing 200, now you're
at one time. But then again, you could still lose the.
You certainly could. You roll the 10, lose 100, and then roll
lose
the 4, and lose the other 100. So yeah. I mean, obviously they have this game figured out, and whatever we do is we're swimming upstream.
Hey, did we get any live callers today, Jeremy?
Justice Jen called us. But,
awesome. Okay.
Yeah, no one else has called in. We've had the phone number up there, but
okay.
I never mentioned it. A 678, the most popular numbers in craps. The 7, and then our horn numbers 2, 3, 11, and 12. 6, 7, 8, 7, 2, 3, 11, 12. Let's see. Any advice, Jim? So TK is he's facing $25 tables. He hasn't been on the weekend where they go up to 50, 100. I'm assuming you might.
If he's been to National Harbor on the weekend, he's seen some big numbers up on the tables, haven't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, I sure have. I just never played on the weekend, but
it's wise. Stay away from the weekends if you can.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably more fun and exciting, but he said he's been to a lot of the casinos. He mentioned a lot of them, but I mean, you would probably know them, but I wasn't.
No, I heard him talking about Live, and I heard him talking about MGM Grand up there. But yeah, for just a humble school teacher, those table minimums, and they are packed. I can't remember if it was 8, maybe 10 tables, but Greg would know if he's still listening. But I've been up there and seen them. $50 table was the cheapest one, and be one of those, and it's $100 all the way around on a crazy busy weekend when they got a show and a concert, and the people just throwing money out there. It's just absolutely bonkers to me. It's just a different world. But 25 would be the cheapest, probably at the places you're talking about, Live and a couple of those other Baltimore kind of places, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So you have like Caesars is right by my house, and like I'm from Jersey, so I go home a lot. So we got like Atlantic City, Philly. You got Park, Delaware has a whole bunch of casinos in it. So
you ever get out to Delaware much? That's a little cheaper over there, is my experience.
Sometimes, so I'm retiring from the government after 25 years, but I work for ATF. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Yeah, I'm familiar. We're familiar with ATF. Yeah.
So our jurisdiction.
ATF in Boston, or not Boston, Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Can you imagine?
So we cover all the way up through Wilmington, Delaware. So I'm in Delaware quite often.
I bet you are.
But hey, next couple in 2 weeks I'll be a regular civilian.
There you go. Well, congratulations on that.
Yeah. So his plan, Jim, is to become to win $1 million and become a professional dice player. What do you think about his plan?
I think you need to come up with another plan. I like you. I mean, I just been listening to you. I like you a lot, but I'm gonna, I'm no Dr. Phil, but and I heard you talking about the dice guys and all that stuff. Let me caution you on that. Be careful on. You can watch them all. I'm like I said for everybody. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for them all, but be careful before you throw some real money to pay to get
That was,
lessons on the proper
by the way, it
techniques.
was kind of tongue in cheek that he wants to
Yeah.
become a professional.
Oh,
he,
okay,
he
yeah.
like all of us, he wants to win $1 million.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then just play, you know.
Yeah.
So, however, you know, maybe he wins the million with the lottery or something.
Or the slot machine. I
Or the
don't care.
slot.
Yeah.
You keep the slot machines going. a
Even
little
though the house edge is higher.
bit. Yeah.
Very
But
much
you
higher.
are a lot more likely to hit it big there than
Yes.
versus a craps table. So
That is very true. Very true.
you
over
grind
there.
out wins at the table. You get lucky on the slots.
No,
Yeah, it's-
Mr. Jim, in actuality, I probably since I'm like Jeremy, I like the heat, and I spend a lot of time in South America. So within the next year, I'm probably gonna end up moving to either Colombia or Panama or something like that.
There you go.
You probably cut your expenses too.
Oh, my
well,
gosh.
or you can live like a king, right? Like one or the other. Like
Well, you
I
can
know
do both.
you-
You can
Both.
cut-
Usually.
Yeah, I can do both. I know people
depending on
who
where you
retired
go.
to Panama.
Yeah, you can cut your expenses and live like a king. I mean,
yeah,
I can live down there just on my military benefits alone.
nice.
Not even have to worry about my retirement stuff.
And you have secondary languages and everything, so that'd be no problem for you.
Yeah, I speak Spanish and German.
Yeah,
Woo.
that's kind of holding me back. I would probably need to learn Spanish if I wanted. 'Cause my wife talks about it every once in a while. She loves South America
Oh man, it's
because as a
such
flight
great
attendant,
country.
she goes through so many
Oh, okay.
of the cities and just really loves it down there. So there's
Yeah,
a lot
man,
of
it's
beautiful
beautiful.
cities.
Yeah, I mean, I've been able to travel around South America, not just Colombia, but been in some other countries and the Caribbean. I love the Caribbean.
The trick is you got
Panama.
to go to a place where they have dice tables, though. So you got to find casinos and dice tables nearby.
Yeah,
There's
Well,
a few, right?
Yeah, there are. There are.
I was in
They're down there for
Aruba
sure.
last year. Aruba has a lot of
Yes.
casinos.
Yeah,
Expensive, but I had a good time down there.
nice.
Is there a Ms. TK?
No, I've been divorced 10 years now. Got a
Okay.
teenage daughter. I don't think I ever get married again. Yeah, going through divorce is not for the faint of heart. Especially
No. I'm
when
sorry to
you
hear
got
it.
kids. Yeah, so, but good thing is I'm daddy Disney World. So when my daughter comes for the weekend, I always piss off my ex-wife because I send her back with bags of goodies.
There you go.
Get
There
the
you go.
spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. Yeah,
Yeah.
And
good for
meanwhile, she's making her do her algebra homework, and
right.
you're saying eat some more chocolate,
Mhm.
taking her to the O's game or
That's right. Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. We went a couple weeks ago actually, and no bedtime.
Yeah.
You said she's in high school. At some point, though, you're going to take her to the casino, and then your ex-wife's going to be really pissed
I'm
off.
really pissed off. Yeah. I mean, we were together this past weekend. We were in Atlantic City, just walking through the casino. And we stopped for like a half a second, and the little security guys were like, "Hey,
Keep
how old
moving.
is she?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just like, "Oh, okay, man. Like, come on, let's keep moving."
Some casinos are a little better at that than others.
But you could
Yeah.
do a
Keep the
cruise, and then
kids.
she could play right with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Once
I
she's
was-
18. Once she's 18, yeah.
Yeah. I was just telling Jeremy, I love cruising. I did my first cruise like a year and a half ago, and one of the best experiences I've ever had. I mean, it was nice.
Awesome. Very good. Very
Plus,
good.
I won a lot of money on the slots.
Oh,
hurt.
that makes it even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paid for a cruise. Yeah.
I know, right?
All right. Well, I don't see any more questions, Jim, unless you got something you want
Nah.
to share with us.
No,
Thanks
I
Hopefully,
want to.
hopefully you didn't rush home. You just kind of.
No, we were coming home anyway, so I want to say thanks, and then just throw an invite out there for those Green Club members because, like you said, the format's going to change. We're going to go every other week like this with just conversational call in, and if anybody's a Green member wants to jump in, just grab a camera, some cheap headsets, and actually you can just use your phone and just go right on in. The studio's easy; it's a lot of fun, and maybe chat it up with meet some new people like TK.
Yeah, and it doesn't. I think I could have like up to 10 guests. So, I didn't share the link in the Green Club room, but I will next time. So,
Okay.
really will be. Yeah, but the requirement is I want decent audio. So, usually.
Oh,
if you're
Mike,
just-
yeah.
Yeah, some sort of microphone. Because if you're talking just into your phone without headphones, it makes a mess. So.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got to have a little bit of competency with the audio. side.
Quality, sir.
Yeah,
Video's not important to me, but the audio's got to be a little better.
yeah. We went through that getting on. I
Okay.
have a studio in my basement, and for some reason I have a music studio, and I don't know. haven't been down there in a while, and I was having a hard time getting on, so
Just
I had to
wasn't working
revert.
for him.
Yeah, I had to revert to my little cheap stuff.
But it worked out well. So
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the plan. Every other week, hanging out, having fun, hopefully, and inviting green members on. And yeah, I think with that we can sign off. So again, TK, thanks for joining us. Jim, thanks
it's
for
been a
popping in
pleasure.
at the end.
Hey, thank you.
Until next week. So next week will be an official podcast week.
Okay.
At some point, we might figure out a system and have the proper dates and be able to explain it better. But we're gonna alternate weeks, whatever that may be. And so until next time, guys.
Hey, Jeremy, just like next Sunday is Mother's Day. I don't know if you guys had that on your.
That's a good point. We may not even have a podcast or a show
Yeah,
at
you
all
never
next
know.
week. So
Yeah, you never know.
thank you, crowd pleaser.
Yep.
We will talk to you guys or see you next week. Maybe.
Maybe.
All right. See you guys.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.